Islam, Shalom, Hola, Aloha, Osio, Bonjour, Assalamu Alaikum. This is your brother Zach Bay, Indigenous American Moor. Do you have questions about claiming your nationality? Are you confused or hesitant on how to get started or where to get started? Resources on what to study, questions and answers, maybe even a question on where to purchase an authentic fez. Help me help you. Book your session below. Use keywords Moorish nationality. Islam, Shalom, Hola, Aloha, Bonjour, Osio, Assalamu Alaikum. This is your brother Zach Bay, Indigenous American Moor, coming to you live in full effect. Like, share, subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell down below so you can be notified whenever I'm dropping new content. Leave a comment and interact with me. Thank you. I really do appreciate your viewership. Let's jump into another one. Today, I'm coming at you with another episode of Strange Events. The events may not be that current, but as far as people becoming more aware and making more videos and actually talking about this information, I believe it's becoming that much more relevant to this day. All right, so dolphins. Why are there so many laws against us people interacting with dolphins? There's laws against us having dolphin assisted births as people did in the past. There's laws against even like touching or interacting with them, trying to communicate with them. Why is it like that? Now, it brings me to a book I read when I was younger, back in the early 2000s, and I also seen the film that came out in like 2005, I believe. It was called Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, all right? It was about the Earth being destroyed and a random normal guy actually escaping the destruction of the planet with some extraterrestrials. But he actually ends up, I believe, finding out that dolphins in the ocean are actually sentient and self-aware, and they're actually extraterrestrials that are not from the planet. Now, I played another video a few weeks back, maybe a few months ago, about how the government disclosed that UFOs, USOs, unidentified flying anomalies, that these entities or these beings are actually in the oceans, fam. All right, so they already disclosed that aliens are in our oceans, and if dolphins could potentially be extraterrestrials, or their intelligence is actually closer to our own level of intelligence, that would be very, very interesting, fam. So I want to play a few clips, and then I'm going to come back and play an outro clip, and that'll be it. I don't want to make this video too long, but let me know in the comments down below how you like this sort of content, how interesting it is. If you have any questions, just let me know down below. All right.
Bro, I know what telepathy is. I'm not talking about telepathy, bro. I'm talking about physically speaking. Like the dolphin is like, hello there, good morning. And you're saying hello back. Like the dolphin is bringing tea from the bottom of the ocean to the top, physically speaking. The video I saw of the girl, she was physically teaching the dolphin how to talk, bro, with vocabulary and words.
Come on, Mom. Yeah. Mama. Mama.
I know what telepathy is, y'all. That's not what I'm talking about, bro. And they said it take like 3 months for them to fully have full-blown conversations. Remember, this was just 3 seconds, 5-10 seconds when she was teaching him how to say mama. And bro was already catching on. So think about the span of 3 months, bro. He finna be sitting up there clocking tea with you in 3 months. That's why they don't want us talking to them, bro. They don't want us to know.
This is off topic, but what do the dolphins know? I'd like to remind you that the government told us that the aliens are living in the ocean, and they also told us it's illegal to try and interact with a wild dolphin. And I mean interact in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Don't try and talk to it. Don't try and elicit a response from it. Don't feed it. Don't touch it. Don't nothing. Don't even look at that bitch. Now, they say this is to protect dolphins and humans alike, and I'll buy that because they're wild animals, okay? But why can't I even try to speak to it? Why can't I even just try to elicit out of it? I don't know how dolphins sound. The fuck, they don't understand me and I don't understand them, right? Right? It is a felony to even attempt this behavior. There's even a snitch line for it. Dolphins are too smart. They are self-aware. They have shown signs of empathy because they'll help out other creatures, including human beings. They can communicate amongst themselves in a language that we don't understand at all. It's the clicks and the, you know what I'm saying, those high-pitched noises. Some of them our ears can't even pick up on. They are the second smartest creature on Earth behind us. Do they have a conscience? They live in an environment that we haven't explored 80% of. We don't know 80% of what's down there in that ocean, but you know who does? Dolphins. And we are not allowed to talk to them. I'd like to know why that's a felony.
Dolphins cause they know we used to live with them. They heal our bodies with their sonars when you swim with them. Dolphins used to help us birth our babies in the ocean. They send ultrasounds to the womb to keep the baby focused. Their sonar frequency 130 hertz, it come with benefits. It can help brain development and also Parkinson's. They're part of the normals, dolphins are extraterrestrial. They speak to us through telepathy, they're celestial. That's why when dolphins see a person, they be nice to you. If something trying to come and eat you, they will fight for you. Dolphins done save people's life, even dogs too. That's why they tryna make it illegal, so they don't talk to you. They can give you knowledge, open your third eye, also heal your body. I'm about to go to the ocean, finna call up all my dolphin army. They in the mermaid family, so I know for a fact they real. Sending off frequencies like sirens, they the real deal. Common facts, if you know for a fact, that's the reason they ban them. You can look this all up, I promise this wasn't random.
Right? Very interesting stuff, honestly. Like, that kind of stuff, like, sometimes keeps me awake because I'm just so interested in finding more information about it. It's just so intriguing. You get what I'm saying? Like, animals in nature, high science, the unknown has always been very, very exciting to me ever since I was a young man. And I feel that type of childlike sense of exploration and discovery is something that keeps our minds and our spirits youthful, you know, even in our elder years, right? So the Japanese have created a form of farming or a form of like agricultural trimming that interacts with the way they build their society. All right, so they don't just cut down trees, they don't just destroy streams and animal crossings and paths, right? They actually form the way that they're building new construction with nature, with the elements of their natural environment, in order to keep a form of flow. If you know the term feng shui, how energy flows in different ways. Different things can block energy flows and like energy transmission, depending on how they're set up. Right, so that's just a small tidbit of what the video is actually going to be saying. But I think it's very, very interesting and very, very important. And I feel like here in America that we can adopt some of these techniques to actually better our society and better our nation, to actually help preserve species and creatures and our natural environment and wildlife for the future generations. All right, something that I've been commenting on different posts within the past week or so, that I feel that the nation's highways and byways they should have more covert animal or wildlife crossings. All right, so I always see a lot of roadkill on the highways, and it always makes me sad when I see deers, foxes, raccoons, hawks, different type of bird species on the side of the road, and they, expired just because they were hit by a car or something like that. It's very, very sad. But I know Japan and there could be other nations that have infrastructure like this, but they'll build culverts or waterways that go underneath the highways that animals can go through. It kind of looks like a sewer tunnel, but it's for water and animals to go through. All right, so we can actually build more paths like that through areas that deer normally travel through when they're migrating and moving around, and other animals, foxes, raccoons, bobcats, coyotes, all the different indigenous species of the land. They need to be protected, and I feel building more culverts underneath the highways, busy roadways, so the animals can actually cross freely without having to go through traffic. All right, that's just an idea, but like I said, I don't want to make this video too long, and I'm going to play one more video for the outro. Once again, this is your brother Zach Bay, Indigenous American Moor. Peace.
Does Japan have the solution for deforestation? I went to this mutant forest in Japan where trees grow new trees out of themselves without ever being cut down. This one tree grew the wood for dozens of houses like this. This is the 600-year-old art of daisugi, pruning cedars into platforms from which new, perfectly straight trees grow up to 200 feet tall. Much faster than regular trees because they use the root system of the original tree. It's done by these master silviculturalists who spent their lives doing daisugi, like this guy. When I asked him to teach me about daisugi, he led me here to the mother cedar of the forest. Then he left. So I asked another expert. Hi there. One thing I learned is that even in forests where daisugi is impossible, there are other regenerative forms of timber harvesting, like leaving seed trees, which provide a gene source for new trees to grow back in quickly. The problem is clear cutting, which is how most forests are destroyed, leaves nothing but these barren wastelands. And there's one food company more responsible for this than anyone else: Cargill, the largest private company in the US, which makes most of the food McDonald's sells. Wow. So why don't we show McDonald's that we want to keep our forests? If you convince one person to stop going to McDonald's, you're going to cost McDonald's about $300 this year. If we convince 1 million people, that's $300 million. So will that be enough for McDonald's to stop clear-cutting forests? Let's find out.